If you're ready to remember who you are on an energetic, sacred, and soul level, to seek your truth, to feel your power, and to shine your light brighter than before, if you are ready to awaken on a deeper level, then I, Kymberly Castro, welcome you to Quantum Speaks. Hello everybody, welcome. Today I am going to be talking about Archangel Michael, not just the angels, but Archangel Michael specifically. If you know me, then you know I love angels, and I've been working for angels for years, very many years. And on my spiritual journey, and as I elevated my energy and raised my vibration, meaning I was able to tap into my intuition at will and not just randomly. The more I practiced with my intuition and my spiritual family, my guides and angels, the angels were actually, and Archangel Michael specifically was one of the first angels that came to me and showed up to me and just, really just catapulted me on this path to finding out what it was that I was experiencing, what I was seeing, if it was real, if I was going nuts. And, sometimes tuning into your intuition and using your senses when you first begin and you don't know what's going on, it can be scary. You don't know, what am I seeing? What am I feeling? Is this real? Is this not? You start doubting yourself. And basically, it could be quite confusing if you don't know what's going on. So instead of feeling like you're going crazy, you don't know what's happening, it's good to just start to experience your intuition and your energies yourself. So the best way for me is to start with angels. Angels have a beautiful energy, especially Archangel Michael. Like I said, years ago when I first started on my journey and I started reading books about angels, because I was comfortable with angels. They just seemed like they were nice, they were friendly, they weren't scary at all. They worked with God and Jesus and, Mother Mary, Divine Mother. And that's kind of how I was, raised growing up. It was in a household full of, people that believed in God and angels. So it wasn't scary to me to explore the angels. So I remember reading books and trying different things. I forgot what book I had, but it was a book about angels, and it was basically calling in the angels and see who popped forward. And all of a sudden, sure enough, an angel popped forward. And honestly, it was so fascinating. It was so amazing. And I wanted to do that all the time. So it was like you're addicted to finding out what else can you see? How can I see it? And that's all about exploring your intuition. And it's fun and exciting. And like any other thing that you learn, it's training, it's strengthening. Like if you're working out, you want to strengthen your muscles, you get stronger. You want to, train for a marathon or something. You got to start walking, you got to start jogging, you got to start running, and then go further and further and further and further, and you get better. As time goes by, you have stamina, you're stronger, you're clearer, you have more balance, all this stuff, you're breathing better. Same thing with your intuition. It's a muscle that you got to use, you got to practice with. So same with your relationships, your connections with, whether it be your angels or your ascended masters or your spiritual guides or your loved ones that passed away or your animals or animal totems and power animals. There are so many energies you could tap into. It's just what you're comfortable with. And we're all going to have different experiences because we are all different levels. And just because you can't experience it immediately, which a lot of people can, it doesn't mean you're wrong, you're broken, you're doing it wrong. It's just, maybe it's not time, it's not ready. Maybe you were very distracted. Maybe something you ate that made your energy a little bit foggy, or something you drank that made it a little bit more, your energy a little bit lower. And so there's so many factors, But for me, what I recommend is when you're on this journey and you're starting to explore and you want to explore a little bit more with angels, either pick an angel that you want to connect with. Today we're talking about Archangel Michael. Instead of telling you everything that other people tell you about Archangel Michael, that he is like God, or he looks like this, or he looks like that, I could tell you my experience and what I've heard from other people as well. But it's going to be different for you because you are comfortable with different things, because you grew up with a different family, in a different culture, a different town, in people, and you experienced different things, and you heard different things from the people around you, or you saw different things on TV or your environment or school. So everybody's frame of reference is going to be a little bit different depending on your experiences throughout your life to this moment. So for me, when I see Archangel Michael, for me, I see him with a suit of armor. I see his sword. I see his shield. I see like a blondish hair about, shoulder width length, and he's strong and he's powerful, and he comes to me, and I call him for protection. I call him for guidance. In the Catholic religion, he is known as Saint Michael the Archangel. So there's prayers that can help you connect with him if you want to connect with him that way. I know my sister, she just recently passed, actually a couple of weeks ago. Did not know I was going to tear up, but she and I would talk about, meditations and God and walking with Jesus and all our different experiences, because she was super, super intuitive as well. Both my sisters are. It just runs through my family on both sides. But I didn't learn about that till later. But anyway, this was my sister that just passed. She would see God in a certain way. She would see Archangel in a different way. Like I would see him in the suit of armor. And I remember her saying she'd seen him more like just, I forgot. But I just remember her saying like it was like regular clothes, or maybe like more of like a robe type thing, where some people, you're just going to see him differently, and he's going to come to you in a way that feels comfortable for you. You might sense him, you might feel him, he might come to you in your dreams. When I first started connecting, and I wasn't even trying to connect to Archangel Michael, I just remember I was practicing meditating and working on my intuition and trying to strengthen my spiritual sight, my clairvoyance, my clairaudience, my clairsentience, how I feel, how I know, what I taste, what I smell, but with my spiritual senses, with my eyes closed, so I'm not distracted with things around me. And I remember one day just sitting there on my bed, laying down, doing a meditation, and had my eyes closed, and I was just breathing. At the time, I was just observing what I was seeing, because I'm very clairvoyant, and I hear a lot too. And actually, I do everything. But at that time, it was a lot of visions. And then I heard knocking, like real knocking. It sounded like someone was knocking on my door. But it was in my ears, but it was super loud. So I'm like, okay, knock, knock. And then I saw a door, and I was like, hello? Who's there? Because in regular life, when someone knocks on your door and you're not expecting someone, you're like, I don't know about you, but I just don't open up the door. I look outside, look through the camera, pee, call my husband. Am I expecting anybody? Just because I'm a female, and I just never open up the doors for strangers, especially this day and age. Anyway, so I was like a little leery about saying come in, because it's your intuition. And I'm like, you hear all these stories and you're like, I don't know, am I letting in a freaking ghost? Am I letting in something bad? I don't know. And then I said, who's there? And I heard Michael. And I was like, Mike. Well, actually, no. I didn't hear Michael yet. I started, because I wasn't hearing that well, my spiritual hearing. I saw, at the time we were doing the Olympics, and I think Michael Phelps, the swimmer, was on TV. So I'm telling you this story because I want you to know my story, so it could help you, and you could recognize things, how things start to unfold, how your angels and your guides, and it's not just your angels, but your guides and your spiritual family tries to get your attention, because they only have a few seconds to get your attention. It's like charades. You want to tell this story, you want to get this phrase or this word, but you have to do it really quick. They get your attention, and then you might have to build on it to, you know, like, okay, you got that it's Michael. Then I'm like, who's Michael? And I see Michael, I saw the swimmer, and I was like, well, that's Michael Phelps. And I was like, yay. So I was getting it, but I wasn't Michael Phelps, obviously knocking on my door with my eyes closed and my vision in my room. So I was like playing, to me, it was like playing charades. You would see another picture till I got it. And I realized, then I heard Michael. So I knew it was Michael because of the pictures that got me to that point. And that's kind of how our journey began. That he didn't just barge in. He didn't just pop up. He kind of just started letting himself be known to me. And so because I felt his energy, and I could feel the love and the protection, and that he was good energy. Angels have this great energy. They all have, like your family and friends. Everyone has different personalities. So you have to get to know them, and they communicate with you differently. Each one will communicate with you differently, especially depending on what your predominant senses are. So it's just like regular life. It's just in a different energetic way. They have different personalities. They look different. They smell different. They feel different. They communicate with you different. Some have strong energies. Some are funny. Some are like right to the point, pragmatic. So it's you getting to know that person. So I worked with Archangel Michael to get to know him a lot. So then other angels and other people I would start to let in, but I would always make him almost like the bodyguard. Archangel Michael, someone's here. I don't recognize their energy. If they're good energy and they're benevolent beings, and you know they work with God and Jesus, because I do, and I feel better just saying that, please let them in if they're for my highest good or the highest good of the people around me, you know. So I always ask for his protection, his guidance, and almost like he was the doorman, the gatekeeper to let people in. And I also work with a lot of, you know, later on, you know, as my intuition grew, more people that passed away, loved ones that passed away, and animals would come to me. But a lot of times I didn't recognize the energy. So he would be the bouncer, Archangel Michael. Please don't let anybody in that I don't know, that's not good for me, until I get to know them and I was comfortable with them. And also there are times when you go out to places like restaurants, or you walk by a bar, or you hang out with friends, or you go to a party, or you go to the grocery store or the mall. There's a lot of people, so you pick up different energies, and things stick to you, you know, like just different energies, some good, some bad, but it's not your energy. So it could make you angry, it can make you sad, it can make you mad, it can make you act a little bit different. So I started asking him to cut cords because I read that somewhere, and I remember I had these angel cards, like oracle cards, and one of them said Archangel Michael helped cut cords or something like that. And I remember just sitting on the floor going through the cards, and I was like, oh, let me try this. Never tried this before. And I read the card. I did what the card said. Basically, it was asking Archangel Michael to help cut cords, energetic cords that no longer serve me. So I closed my eyes, took a few breaths, repeated that in my mind, and oh my goodness gracious, I could feel things just cutting and severing, and I could see his sword, and I was tingling, and all this stuff was happening. And I was thinking of my mom, you know, in relationship with that, and, you know, wasn't always great, you know. And I was like, oh my gosh, this works. Oh my God. So that was the beginning of cutting cords and energy, because I am so sensitive, so clairsentient, so empathic. At the time, I didn't realize that, but I am, and you probably are too if you're listening to this. So it's not just about what you see, what your spiritual, or hear. Sometimes it's just what you know intuitively, or that gut feeling, or you just get the tingles, or you feel it, you know, you feel it in the body and you can't explain it. So That's the cutting of the cords with Archangel Michael. And it's super powerful. And then I remember things that used to bother me that would come up and I'd have to talk about. I didn't have that charge. I didn't have that emotional draining energy when I would talk about it. I was able to talk about my mother or situations without getting upset or ruining that moment. So at the time I didn't realize it, but when that would happen, I automatically would get a vision of I did the cutting of the cord. So that's why I'm not feeling that charge. So it wasn't always clear when I did it, but later on it would hit me and I would be taken back in a vision or a memory going, oh my God, I cleared that, or that I made that better. So that's what I want to talk about with you right now, or just experience it with you. Because if you haven't tried it before, or you haven't done it in a while, you didn't remember to do it, this is just a moment, and it could be super quick, but I want you not to be distracted. So make sure you're not driving, you're not doing something with kids, you're just somewhere where you could close your eyes. Breathe. And I know I'm talking fast, so I'll slow it down. Keep breathing, close your eyes. And I want you to experience Archangel Michael, and maybe a different angel is going to come through. So if someone else looks like they want to come through and this is your opportunity to meet them or feel their energy or experience them, and you feel comfortable to invite them in and get to know them, then do it. Right now we are just calling in our angels, our Archangel Michael. He might come forward and introduce you to one of the other angels that are trying to get your attention, that maybe are your main angels that are around you or that you resonate with at this time. And different angels could come at different times for different reasons. They have different characteristics, different personalities, different strengths. They might, teach you something, or you might help them with something. So right now we're just breathing. We're just inhaling, exhaling, relaxing everything. And just tell yourself, or it can be out loud or in your mind, you want to elevate your consciousness to connect to the angels. I elevate my mind and my consciousness to connect to Archangel Michael or the other angels. And breathe. And we're specifically asking for Archangel Michael to protect us, to guide us, to come forward. So you might see light, you might feel tingling on different sides of your body, you might feel your heart, you might want to cry because you feel the energy, the love, or the connection with this specific archangel or the other angels. And he wants you to know that you could just call upon him anytime for protection, for safety, for guidance, for comfort. Just to stand with you, to walk with you. You just have to give him permission. Sometimes they intervene if it's something important, but a lot of times they need your permission because you have free will in order to come into your energy, into your home, into your life, into the situation. And breathe. And just start to feel and sense. See if you could hear anything. And ask Archangel Michael to come close to you. For me, I see light right now. I see him and I feel tingling in the back of my head. And sometimes if my vision is a little blurry, I'm like, can I see your sword? And can I see your wings? And don't force it. When you start forcing it, then you start blocking the connection. So you want to relax. And for some reason, if you fall asleep, when you wake back up, just keep those eyes closed because you're more in a relaxed state. So you might have a better chance of getting a glimpse of him. You might see sparkles, different colors, maybe purple and greens. But again, don't get stuck on how you will see him because it's going to look a little bit different for everybody. It's going to feel a little bit different depending on what level you are at with your intuition, with your guidance. And he might come to you in your dreams tonight or in the next few nights if you weren't able to see him, to make it more comfortable for you. Or you might see somebody's name when you're out and it'll say Michael, or you'll see a sign or hear something on TV or on the radio that makes you think of him, letting you know that he is around. He is around you, protecting you, guiding you, and he's here with you. He might hold your hand. He might put his hand on your shoulder, rub your back, letting you know, I'm here, you're safe, you're protected. And just let him come close to you. Get to know his energy. Ask him, do you have a message for me? Is there something you want me to know? Is there a word I could take with me, or a symbol that you could show me that I know when I see it, it's you? A symbol, a color, a word, a smell, a sound. Keep breathing. And just allow yourself to connect, to receive. And if you'd like, ask him, Archangel Michael, can you cut any cords that no longer serve me, or dissolve any cords that are draining me, that no longer serve me and are not for my highest good at this time? And just allow yourself to feel. Do you feel energy moving around, swirling, disconnecting? You might have visions of colors. You might feel tingling, temperature changes. Perhaps there's no cords to cut. Maybe they need to be dissolved. They need to be sealed with love. They need to be disconnected. Or ask, are there any cords that no longer serve me that you could help me remove at this time? You might hear one or two or three, and ask to remove them the best way for you. Cut them, dissolve them, heal them, unplug them. Whatever's for my highest good, please do so gently, swiftly. And always say thank you, thank you, thank you for your time, your energy. And just notice what you're feeling, what you're sensing. You might feel energy swirling around your belly or your heart. And just give the energy permission to go with love, to release with love. And you can't sever any cords of love. These are cords that are draining, that no longer serve you from this time, from all relationships, all languages, all directions of time, all levels. Removing, releasing, dissolving, unplugging, disconnecting cords, strings, webs, knots, kinks. Just healing your energy, strengthening your aura, weaving it back together, sealing any holes. Archangel Michael, please help us seal any holes, heal any cracks in our energetic system, in our aura, in our matrix, in our blueprint, our energetic blueprint, our energetic matrix. And you don't have to repeat everything exactly like I'm saying it. Allow your intuition to guide you. Give yourself permission to let go, to release. People might pop in your mind, or your visions, or people's names, or people's energies, or situations that were sad, that upsetting, traumatic, toxic. So don't overanalyze it. Just become aware of what's popping up. Know that it's just bubbling up because you're releasing it. Acknowledge that you see it. And let it go with love, let it go with peace, let it go with compassion, let it go with kindness. Again, find the words, the energy, forgiveness, to let it go, to remove it from your energy, from your body. Let it go. No longer serves you. And stay here as long as you need to. Write down whatever you experience so you can remember it in your favorite journal, or put it in your notes in your phone. Just so you can look back and see how far you've come, what you let go of, what you noticed. And throughout the next days, pay attention to your dreams. You might see things releasing in your dreams that you released right now energetically behind the scenes. And things take time to recalibrate and integrate into your system. So it's like your closet's dirty and you got to take everything out and then put back in what you need and what you want and what brings you joy, and you release the trash and things that need to be recycled. Same with your energy. You're letting go of what you no longer need. And allow yourself to forgive yourself for anything that you've been holding, for the thoughts, the memories that you kind of beat yourself up with. Let it go. Release it. Release, cut, heal, dissolve, remove. Chords, energy, stuck toxicity and traumas. Letting it go. Filling the new space. Archangel Michael, help us fill the new space with love, compassion, forgiveness, joy, lots of healing energy. Just weave love, compassion, joy, beauty into our energy, into our life, into our home, into our aura, our matrix, our blueprint. Let it be so. And so it is. Thank you, Archangel Michael. Thank you, everyone.